Hi dear people, thank you for being there. And you see my hair is growing and I quite like having short hair, but I have the impression I'm going to have some waves. So I'm looking forward to seeing what it's going to look like with waves, and perhaps I let it grow, although I quite like it short, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Anyway, how are you? Hopefully good, enjoying yourselves, that you had a good month of January. I'm happy because I'm feeling much better than last month. I have more strength and I'm enjoying it. And I'm happy, of course, that I'm healed. That's the most important part. Now I'm going to be doing some videos once a month. I want to tell you my story, how it goes on, so you can see my hair growing too. But also I want to share some things that I learned, because you learn many things, and perhaps this helps somebody, perhaps it doesn't, I don't know. But I really hope that my experience can be useful for something or somebody. Anyway, in any case, this month of January was a month of remembrance. I remembered what happened a year ago when I got my diagnosis, and when everything turned upside down. My world was perfect in a way, and then all of a sudden you realize that you have a life-threatening disease, and you're like, okay, what the heck is going to happen now? And it was such a turmoil, such an upsetting time, that I remembered it this year like with solemnity. It was, wow, remember what happened? Remember this doctor, remember this day, remember that study, remember this thing. And it felt like I was I don't know, living that again, not because I wanted it, but it was like it helped me remember from where I came. And that is something very interesting, because then you say, wow, you've come a long way, baby. And that helps you put things in perspective, and it helps you be thankful, because now you can tell the story. Not every cancer story ends well, but mine did. And I remember those days when I didn't know how things would end up being. I remember that at the very beginning I told myself, well, Lorena, you're going to make this story a success story. But that was my ideal. I didn't know what would happen. Now I can tell you, yes, it's a success story. And I remember it all went upside down, and you start thinking about death. Your doctor tells you, yes, you have 80% survival chance. You have to do this, you have to do that, you have no idea what a chemotherapy is. They talk about radiation and operation, and you're like, my year looks a hospital year. So everything went really bad, because it was all so sudden. And I don't remember the words when they told me certain things. Well, some of these things I do remember, but what I remember most was their attitude. Their doctors' attitudes. They were so positive in spite of telling you bad news, that their positivity was sort of contagious, and it helped me think about this as it has a potential to go well, and that helped me a lot. It's true that telling bad news to somebody is absolutely not an easy business. And you can think of doctors, policemen or women, or persons who have to lay people off. It's how do you tell people that they have life-threatening disease? It's a huge moment, but I read that it's true. Sometimes words might not be the most important part, but their attitudes are what count and what people remember. And it was true with me also. I remember the radiologist when she was doing the studies to see if I really had cancer. It was clear to her that it was cancer, so she started talking about it, but she was still so positive about it that although it took me a little while for things to sink in, and I mean, I was like, what is she talking about? Cancer? Me? So it was kind of surreal. But on the other hand, when I realized that yes, this was it, I still thought, well, she was so nice, she was so positive, she was so hopeful, and that really helped me a lot. It's important to remember that, to remember where you come from, because that helps you be thankful. And one of the things that helped me a lot was, and you know that, was reading the Bible and putting my trust in God. And in Psalm 105, we are invited to remember the wonders God made for us. And I love that psalm because it tells of many things that God did for His people in the Old Testament. And it invites me to remember all the things that God did throughout this 2018, this year of cancer. And it was very important for me to hang on to God, because when you realize you have cancer, you don't have the strength you need to cope with that. You need other people. You need strength from outside, because you are emptied from your strength, of your strength. And then if you think you are going to get the strength you need within yourself, as many people sometimes tell you, you definitely can't. Forget it. Where are you going to take strength if everything has gone through the window? And for me, the fact that I could hang on to my God and to read in the Bible everything that God did for His people, for His children, and He still does, that helped me have the energy and the strength I needed to cope and to go on. And so remembering all these wonders, everything that God had made in my story and my life, that has helped me so much, that I want to share this with you today as well. And yeah, in that month of January 2018, so many things happened, and so many decisions I had to take, and so many thoughts that sort of clashed with one another. And so many things happened that I could actually tell you many things. Have made many videos about them, but I don't want to, bug you with this right now. I have enough material for the whole year, and so I'm going to share some of these things during the coming videos, and hopefully that helps you a little bit. In the meantime, I say goodbye. I invite you for my next video next month, end of February. And until then, God bless you and take care. Bye!